All right, my math people, here we go. We got lesson 2, so we're going to continue on with reviewing some of our concepts from previous grades, multiplying and dividing integers. All right, so we've got negative 3 times 2. What we want to notice about that multiplication problem there is that when we're multiplying, it's saying that we're starting with negative 3 of something. So this is 0 to negative 3. We've got a group there, and that group represents negative 3. In multiplication, which is different from our addition and subtraction rules, the 2 that comes after that is saying, I want 2 of those. So that means I want a negative 3 and a second negative 3. Which means we're going to end up with negative 6 right there. Now, what if we have a negative 3 again in this instance, but instead of multiplying by 2, we're going to multiply by negative 2. Oops. So in this instance, we would read it like this. We have negative 3 to start, and we want the opposite of 2 of those negative 3s. So the opposite goes in the other direction of the graph. So we want the opposite of negative 3, which would be positive 3. And I want 2 of those positive 3s. And we can see here that our value ends up being at 6. So negative 3 times negative 2 makes positive 6. So why do you explain that in words? In words, we would say, I have negative 3 and I want 2 groups of it. So I've got negative 3 and I want 2 of them. So negative 3 and negative 3, that's negative 6. Over here, it says I have negative 3 and I want the opposite of 2 groups of it. So we go the opposite direction on the number line. Instead of going negative 3, we say we want a positive 3 and another positive 3. So if you ever get those rules kind of mess up in your head, you can kind of remember that this is saying what I have and how many I want of it. So when we're multiplying and dividing with negative values, when the signs are the same, in this instance, our 2 signs were both negative. Those signs are the same. The answer will always be positive. If the signs are different, like this problem, I had a negative and a positive. Those are different signs. Our answer is going to be negative. So positive times positive, those are the same signs. So our product would be positive. Positive, negative, different signs. Negative. Negative times positive, still those are different signs, so our product is negative again. And finally, negative times negative, we said that they're the same, so they're going to have a positive product. Now, if you are multiplying more than just 2 numbers, let's say you're multiplying 3 numbers together, or 4 numbers together, or 5 numbers together. So if you have multiple numbers, if you have an even number of negatives, even number of negatives, that's 2 negatives, you're going to get a positive. So if I got 4 negatives that I'm multiplying, 4 different integers with negatives, that's also going to be positive. If there are an odd number of negatives, so if I'm doing -1 times -2 times -3, there's 3 negatives there. Odd number of negative is always going to be negative. All right, let's go through our examples here. So if like you had missed class and you're just taking these notes or something like that, you should probably pause at this point and try these out on your own. So here we got -5 times 8. 5 times 8 is 40. And it's a negative and a positive. Those are different signs, so it's going to be a -40. -10 divided by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. There's a positive and negative, different signs, negative. -2 times -4. Same signs. 2 times 4 is 8. It's going to stay positive. -12 divided by -4. So fractions are actually division here. So the fraction sign here is taking the place of the division sign here. They're the same thing. Same over here. This dot here and the X there, those are both multiplication. They both indicate multiplication. So same sign, so it's positive. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 6 times -3. There is different signs, so it's negative. 6 times 3 is 18. So decide what your sign is going to be first. Decide if it's a positive sign or a negative sign, then just multiply or divide the numbers. Next one, -6 divided by -3. Same sign, positive answer. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Different signs, my answer is going to be negative. 7 times 1 is 7. Different signs, my answer is going to be negative. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Next one, I've got 3 different numbers. I have an odd number of negatives, so my answer is going to be negative. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. I've got 2 negatives. That's an even number of negatives, so my answer is positive. So if you have an even number of negatives, positive. So 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 3, 36. I've got 3 negatives. That's an odd number of negatives. So this answer is going to be negative. 5 times 6, 30. Times -2. Our answer is going to be -60. Moving on. Again, these are division. 6 divided by 12. Well, 12 doesn't go into 6. So what we would do on this one is we would reduce it. 6 goes into 6 once. 6 goes into 12 2 times. So that one would reduce to 1/2. Next one, I've got a negative divided by positive. That's different signs. Our answer is going to be negative. The negative can go to the side. It can go on top. Or sometimes even people put it on the bottom. I usually put it to the side here. All right, 3 divided by 15. 15 does not go into 3. So I'm going to reduce it. 3 goes into both of these numbers. 3 goes into 3 once. It goes into 15 5 times. So it's different signs, negative, and then I reduce the fraction. Next one, same signs, so it's going to be positive. And then I have to ask myself, does 26 go into 6? No, it doesn't, not evenly. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to simplify it as much as we can. 6 goes into 6, but 6 does not go into 26. So let's try something else. What about 2? 2 goes into 6, and 2 goes into 26. So that's what I'm going to reduce it by. Okay, so it's going to be positive because they're both positive here. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 26 13 times. Mixed practice. So this is going to combine your addition and subtraction that we did earlier with your multiplication division. This is division. There are different signs, so our answer is negative. 24 divided by 4 is 6. This is addition and subtraction. Different signs, so we subtract the numbers. 24 minus 4 is 20. 24 was the biggest number. It's positive, so our answer is positive. Different signs. I subtract them. 24 minus 4 is 20. 24 was the biggest one. It was negative, so this is negative 20. Multiplication. Same sign. It's even. 9 times 8 is 72. So, addition. We're adding two negative numbers. So since they're both negative, we add the two numbers. 8 plus 14 is 22. And we keep the negative sign. So if they have the same sign with addition or subtraction, we keep the sign and add the numbers. Same sign. We add the numbers and keep the sign. 9 plus 12 is 21, and it's negative. Multiplication. Different signs, so it's going to be a negative. 7 times 6 is 42. Division. Same sign. So it's going to be positive. 56 divided by 8 is positive 7. The end. All right, keep mathing hard, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.